today's episode, we're thinking big, playing up, and staking our claim. What does that have to do with committing to marketing for your small business? Kevin Wade, the marketing genius, is going to tell us. I'm Josh Waters, and we're working from home. So we are here with Kevin Wade. Kevin, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background? What got you into marketing?
Josh, good to be here, buddy. Good to see you. I see we're both we're finally clean shave the beard's been cleaned up, the mop has been shaved off. We were both getting a little scruffy there for a while, dude. So it's like we're real working professionals now.
Well, I feel like a new person. I did go with the messy look. I pull it off, I think, the best out of anything.
Yeah.
But it was about time. It was getting too long, and I was looking a little homeless.
Oh, me too, dude. Gosh, but hey, we're here, and we're gonna hopefully give a good show to all the watchers and listeners out there. Thanks so much for having me on. Like Josh said, my name is Kevin Wade. I am the Director of Account Services for GriffinWink Advertising and the Market Director for GriffinWink Albuquerque. GriffinWink is a full-service marketing and advertising agency specializing in the marrying of digital and traditional. So we do everything from web development, SEO, SEM, social media management, programmatic, OTT advertising, connected television, all the way to graphic design, media buying, and traditional out-of-home and billboard. We kind of do it all. And so I got started with the company kind of right out of my master's degree, started working for them and moved up through the ranks, kind of first as social media manager in charge of the content creation and the strategy, kind of back in 2014, 2015, where we really were putting an emphasis on content and what it looked like for our clients to have more of a presence on social media. Moved from there into account services, have moved into every other position from production assistant to audio editor, podcast producer, and now up into the executive team at GriffinWink for the last few years as the Director of Account Services. And I run the Albuquerque office of GriffinWink. And so we've got offices in Amarillo, Lubbock, Albuquerque, and don't tell anybody, but we're opening a Denver office. So hot take, you heard it here first, folks.
Hopefully that doesn't count as insider trading, but Denver, man, moving up. That's awesome. So definitely a mouthful, and I'm going to go ahead and leave a link in the description so they can get a hold of you or whoever is going to be best to get a hold of over there if they're looking for that, if their marketing or business is growing and they're needing to take that off their plate. I know I do a lot myself, and it can be tricky, especially if I enjoy it a lot. I enjoy marketing and branding myself and putting it out there. And I know a lot of people hate doing that. So there's definitely people that can help you. So the name of this episode is Committing to Marketing as a Small Business. So why is it essential for a small business to commit to marketing? Can you dive a little deeper into what the difference is maybe between maybe a business that commits or doesn't commit? Why is that important for a business?
Yeah, I wanted the focus of this talk to kind of go beyond just like the basic services we offer as an ad agency and really focus on, because we've got, a limited amount of time here. This is the episode that I'm on with you. So I thought the best use of the time would be to talk about just that. Like, what does it mean to commit to a marketing plan? Versus you see a lot of businesses that go straight into trying to grow their businesses by running a la carte campaigns focused pretty much solely on paid leads, money in, money out. What's the ROI? And they neglect to focus on building out a committed marketing strategy and a brand that goes with it, and the value that comes from building a brand very, very intentionally. So that's what I want to talk about. And I think, I want to share basically three things. And these are not silver bullets. These are not magic words, but these are three things that we have seen as clients begin to take their marketing seriously and experience growth. Adopting these mindsets will help focus you on long-term success for your business, but it all starts with believing that marketing is a vital part of your business, right? A vital part of something that you need to do. You treat it like anything else. You treat it like an employee of your business, like a service of your business, because marketing is that thing that needs to fall in place for really successful businesses to become more successful and begin growing. So again, 3 things that we see when you start taking your marketing seriously. You're able to think big, play up, and stake your claim. And so what I want to do is I want to go through each of these things, because really I think that this speaks to the life cycle of small businesses as they begin to see, oh, marketing is important. Marketing is something that we need to commit to. We need to make this as much of our baby as the dream we had to build our business from the get-go. So that's what I want to focus on today.
And I love that. I love the 3 things because that's about all I can remember is about 3 things. So I'm assuming that most of y'all out there can remember about the same amount of things. So we'll definitely have you on again, and we're going to dive deeper into marketing. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. But first, let's get real simple. What is marketing? Like at a base level, what is it?
Okay, yeah. So this is, I guess, an important thing to discuss before we get started. So there is a difference that we view between marketing and advertising, right? So marketing, just for a base definition, is the overall process of identifying customer need, determining how to meet those needs, and then building a brand around that strategy, right? So it's the whole enchilada. It's everything that starts with branding, moves up through all of these 3 points, and gives you that base to be successful with your advertising. And advertising, we would define that as the specific promotional elements and campaigns that you run to actively boost the visibility of your business and drive business. So that's the functional definition for us between marketing and advertising. And so when I'm using those terms throughout kind of the rest of this episode, it's important to remember that advertising is a part of marketing, but marketing is really what I want to focus on, because the mindset you bring into marketing and building a marketing campaign is going to is going to determine how you go about the advertising side, the actual paid promotion side.
I think that's super important. A lot of people seem to mesh those 2 together, and they just try to go for it, and it ends up probably being a jumbled mess a lot of the time. Learning is it's a learning curve, marketing and
Definitely
advertising. So think big. I like that. I like big. I'm think big. I have a big idea and I go for it. That's part of, it's a good thing and a bad thing. So let's dig deeper into thinking big.
So I love, Josh, and I know you are a person that I think fits the definition of this first point very, very well. I love our conversations. When we sit down and talk about marketing, I always feel like we get somewhere, we go somewhere. And it's because, one, first and foremost, you have shown a willingness to take your marketing seriously, which was the thing that I already said is the most important first step. And what we see as an agency throughout all the clients that we work with is that intentional brand development, saying, I'm going to commit to my marketing, I am going to make the best version of myself and put it out there, allows you to see yourself and allows others to see you as that dream you have in your head, right? Every small business that starts up starts with a dream, starts with an ideal version of themselves that you and only you can see from the get-go. And building that business and making that business successful is all about taking what you see in your head for your business and making sure that everyone else sees it, right? So the first thing we see for a client or for a business that has decided to take themselves seriously is that they are able to think big. They're able to view themselves as that dream in their head. So real quick example. This is what this looked like for a client of ours that we had recently. They got a hold of us. They said, look, we have been a business for 20 years. We've always just functioned off of the business right around us. We've tried little bits of advertising here and there. Again, there's a difference between a cohesive marketing campaign and placing advertising when you need to fill leads, right? So they'd done that in the past, but what they hadn't done is actually committed to putting their vision out there for everybody else to see. And it was really hard to get them onboarded into the campaign process because you could tell that they had not committed to their own vision of themselves. They had it in their head, but they weren't able to see it. So the onboarding process took forever, took longer than usual. It was hard to get them to sign off on what they were interested in or the things that they wanted to promote about themselves. But we worked with them. We understand that this is all part of the process. We built things like a logo. We built things out like their social media presence. We built things out like their website. We developed video content for them. And as each new piece of the puzzle began to fall into place, you know what happened? Is they got excited about themselves. They were excited about the way that they were being portrayed because it finally, after so long, fit that vision that they had for themselves in their head. And that is so, so important. And ever since then, it has just been taking off for them as far as not only how their campaign is running, but also their communication with us, right? I love it. I get calls from their ownership at all times of the day with new ideas, new exciting things that they want to do because they now see themselves in the light that they've always had in their head, right? And they are seeing other people view themselves in that way. And so the first step to committing to that marketing process is just to begin viewing yourself in the way that you want others to view you. And it is so helpful. Again, it doesn't have anything to do with a service or a KPI or ROI or the marketing mix. This is solely talking about a mentality that you need to have in order to begin having all that stuff fall into place.
No, that's fantastic. And actually, reminds me a little bit. I was reading through this book, 6 Types of Working Genius. I'm going to drop the link down below. I think everybody that runs a business or a team should definitely read this book. It's a parable. Can't remember who the author is at the moment, but I'll drop it below. It's fantastic. But the premise of the book, it's a parable, and they're working in a marketing agency. And one of the things that they ran through with their customers and they asked like focus groups was, if this company was a person and walked into a room, what do you picture? Which is kind of like what you were saying, really reminded me of that, is that we always have, for all of our companies, we have our brand, what we think we look like, right? But what is the people that don't know you? They just see your marketing. What do they think you look like just based on that? Without seeing a picture of you, what does your company look like if it was a person? Which I think is a good exercise if you are thinking about, stepping up your marketing game, is maybe looking at your marketing. I do it in real estate with somebody's house when I have let's say a stubborn seller who thinks, everybody thinks their house is the best, there's sentimental value there. But sometimes you got to take them outside, to give them a hat. You have them put on, this is your buyer's hat, and I'm going to go ahead and show you this house as if it was not your house. We're going to look at it through the buyer's eyes and just pretend like it's not your house, but walking through as somebody else's feet or shoes or eyes, and looking at your marketing the same way you'd look at a house may make you double think some stuff, and maybe you're not committing or have your branding on point.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that concept of like a visual, physical manifestation of what you're looking for, right? That is a physical exercise that you do with a client, and being able to visualize yourself and have a physical thing to look at and say, this is the best version of me, or this is the version of me that I wasn't seeing before in your marketing, really lets you look at and feel like you can achieve that next milestone, that next dream, that next stage of success, right? That brand needs to remain consistent though, and committed throughout every stage moving forward. And that's the thing, is as you begin to get excited about that, as you begin to see it working, the thread that comes throughout the entire marketing process for us is committing to that process and trusting that process. And we talk a little bit more about that, and that becomes more clear and more important in the next 2 steps that we're going to talk about.
So speaking of that, the next step, playing up. I have a little basketball hoop in my office. I thought it would be fun, and I painted it all black. So I'll sit in my office with my friends and play basketball. I'm assuming that's not what you're talking about, even though I suck at it and I probably need to up my game a little bit. So what do you mean by play up when it comes to committing to marketing for your small business?
Oh, sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to make sure that you're enjoying the information you're receiving so far. If so, and you'd like to see more of it, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. And be sure to tell your friends. Back to the show.
actually, you're not far off. I had sports as the analogy in here because anyone that has played sports, anyone who is competitive, anyone that has a fire and a drive has heard of this concept of playing up, right? So I'll start with another analogy. So my nephew a few years ago started swimming competitively, right? He joined the swim team. He started swimming competitively. He was in that kind of like 8, 9, 10 bracket, the under 10 bracket of swimming. And he's a big kid. He's strong. He's tall. He's always been so tall for his age. When he plays basketball, he's like a full head above everyone else his age. And so immediately he was fast. Right, he could learn the strokes. He hadn't quite reached that like awkward stage between like being a kid and being a teenager yet, to where your body doesn't want to do anything, right? So he was fast, he was big, and he could go. So he was immediately at very good times. And then from, when he started reaching kind of like 10 years old, those times started to kind of level out, right? And so just a few months ago, he moved up to the 11 to 14 bracket, which kind of sucks. If you know anything about competitive swimming, your times carry over and you're immediately then you're judged on the times from your new age group. So you go from first to last overnight, right? Doesn't matter. You just go from first to last overnight. Your times that were double, triple A times are now like C or double C times, right? And you have to build from there. Here's the thing though. The most time he ever picked up in a single meet was that first meet he swam in that 11 to 14 year bracket, because he's competitive. He saw himself now in that 11. He saw himself not as a 10, 14-year-olds. He had that fire. He's competitive, and he swam up to their level. Nothing changed from one week to the other about him, about his stroke, about like there was not some like magic bullet again that saw him get faster, but it was that drive to play up to the next level where he blew all of his PRs out of the water by like many seconds. It was nuts to see. It was so cool. And that's this concept of playing up, right? If you allow yourself to think big and commit to a marketing strategy that is going to let you and others see you the way you want to be seen, all of a sudden, let's say you have a competitor that was that aspirational model for where you wanted to get as a business, right? Now, all of a sudden, they're not that ethereal aspirational model. You can start seeing them as a competitor. I mean, why not? Your logo's fresher. You just redesigned your logo. Your website's newer. Your social media is just as active as theirs now. On paper, you look like you are up there competing with that next business, right? So why not? You start viewing them as a competitor to start going after, because you now view yourself and everyone else is able to see you as up there in that next level. So it's this idea of playing up, but you have to have committed to viewing yourself in that light first, and then it gives you the opportunity to start playing up. And this is what we love seeing. This is the sweet spot that gets the most fun for us as an agency, right? Because this is where a client is willing to be creative. This is where a client is willing to take chances, to jump in on emerging media, to really start pushing with how they want to be seen, with the spots they want to create, with the language they want to use. And you see this change that happens in this second point that really leads into the third point, which we'll talk about. But I love this point for our clients that we see, because it is the most fun to watch them want to play up to that next competitor, which gets us fired up too, right?
Heck yeah, man. I'm getting all fired up. Like, this is getting me ready to go, get out there again. And I totally agree with you. Whatever industry you're in, I say go after the top dog, find out who the best is. Like I sell real estate. I run a real estate team. I look at the best, and I've been saying for years, I'm coming for you. I'll tell them right to their face, in all good sport and business, but I'm coming for you, man. Like, watch out, here I come. And if you don't have that attitude of going out, let's get it, let's build and be the best, or, I am the best already. I just need more people to show that I'm the best. And once they know, they know. But yeah, go get them. I love it. I love the playing up, the competitive. I'm not competitive with a lot of things when it comes to board games. I'll let my family win if they're getting upset. It doesn't bother me that much. But when it comes to business, I think if you're not competitive, if you are not a predator out there, you're prey. And I know predator has some kind of bad I'm talking about like a tiger. So like
yeah, no, animal
be,
kingdom stuff.
Yeah, animal kingdom. You need to be aware of your competition. You need to see where
Yeah.
they are, and you need to go out there, be better, stronger, faster. And if you can't show people with your marketing, they're not going to see you. They're not going to know you're the best.
So once you adopt that mindset, what does that allow you to do? Once you are playing up, once you have determined that you have your eyes set on your competition and you've carved out a niche for yourself in your industry, it allows you to stake your claim. You're putting up or shutting up, right? The whole idea here is that once you start viewing yourself in a way that allows you to think big, and then you start playing up to that next level, you then have the authority in the audience that you've built, in the brand that you're putting out, in the quality of the marketing that you do that supports the quality of work you do. That's also important. You have to have a good product, right? So if the marketing is of the quality that you want your service and product to be, you now have that authority to stake your claim. And so the definition of staking your claim, it's obviously a very old term that goes back to like land ownership, right? But the definition we function on now is to say or show that you have a right to something, or that something belongs to you, showing that you have earned the reputation that you have built through the exceptionalness of your services, through your customer service, through your product, and then through showing that in your marketing. You are running a race with everybody else out there, which you alluded to through kind of the predator prey mindset in the animal kingdom. I view it like a car race, right? You are staking your claim that you deserve to be on that podium, and you have everybody else in your sights ahead, and you're checking your rear view mirror for the people behind you. And this speaks to that consistency that I was talking about. This isn't just showing up and placing another ad campaign when business is slow. This is a long tail system and operation that allows you to build organic credibility in your niche, to where you have the freedom now to place ad campaigns, move spend around, jump onto different platforms, keep it interesting, adopt emerging platforms, take chances on things like that, because you have a base that is always going to be there for you, that you've built up in your marketing as you run that race.
Yeah, man, I know, like I said, I'm getting excited. I'm a fan of marketing and advertising. I'm doing this because I'm excited. Apparently, that's what I do when I'm excited. Rub my hands together. But
it's also kind of cold.
Yeah, it's a little chilly out in New Mexico. You think New Mexico's warm if you're somewhere else, but yeah, it's a little chilly out there. That dang wind is coming through. But yeah, man, I think those are some super awesome, like, just starter points. Obviously, there's a much deeper level. I think we could probably do a full episode on each one of these and go on forever about these, which hopefully we'll do. I will have some more of these guys and dig deeper into them.
I absolutely would love to do that. And so kind of to wrap up these 3 points, I want to take that race car analogy just a little further as just kind of a thing to kind of button up this little shorter conversation. But like I said about consistency, right? Your goal is to pass everybody in front of you, overtake, do what you need to do to make that crazy driving move in the race. I'm really into F1 right now. The F1 season's about to start up. Going to build out my fantasy team, going to take my brothers down. Probably not. They're really good at this stuff. But I'm thinking in terms of race cars and of pit chiefs and of drivers. Once you pass that person that's in first place and you are in first place, does a driver just say, I made it to first place, I'm going to pull over and take a nap now? No, you keep pushing because you understand that now you are the top dog to be beaten. I think it was the driver Lewis Hamilton that said, it is easier to be second. It's always easier to be chasing than it is to be winning, right? Because if you are in first place, you have everybody bearing down upon you. That's where you rely on the base of your marketing that you put together through those first through points. That's where you rely on every bit of credibility you've built up. And you rely primarily on who? Your crew chief. So this is really going in deep with the racing analogies, right? And as a marketing team, we like to view ourselves as your racing crew and as your crew chief who is giving you, you are driving the bus. It is your product. It is your business. It is yours to go out there and win and stay ahead and chase down that next competitor. It is our job to give you the recommendations, to view things from that 30,000 foot level, from our experiences with other race car drivers, clients, right? But this whole idea that we are the ones that are in the pit advocating on your behalf, that is the role of a marketing team. And so that is what we strive to be when we are working with clients. We want clients that view their marketing team as a partnership. Again, not just as a vendor to give them their next ad campaign. That is where we see success coming in that relationship, is a relationship that treats marketing and business the same way that a driver treats their crew chief. So that was an analogy that I was pumped up about, but I think that's something that you can take so deep and start talking even more about and really pushing through to talk about everything in marketing and advertising. But yeah, so that third point of staking your claim, that section, that point right there takes you throughout the whole rest of your future, right? You know, there are businesses that staked their claim 100 years ago that have stayed in front ever since, and nobody questions that they are winning the race and that they are leading the race. And it's a race that's going to go on for as long as that product or service exists, but they staked their claim and they have done well at pushing forward every step of the way since. And that, as a marketing group, is what we want to see for our clients. We want to succeed when you succeed. We want to see you excited and get excited for you, and then get excited together about what's next. So that's just what I have to say about that. And kind of as a button for those 3 points: think big, play up, stake your claim. It's a mindset, it's a mentality. And if you follow it, and if there's consistency there and a willingness to build a relationship with a marketing partner, there will be success.
Awesome. Yeah, man. No, thank you for coming on. We're going to for sure have you on again. That was some awesome information. I'm sure gave us a lot to think about. Once again, Kevin Wade, marketing genius over there. We're going to drop your information down in the description below, so you can make a appointment with somebody, you or somebody on your team.
Yeah. Appreciate you, Josh. And hey, I'll say, while we're here on a vlog, while we're here talking about this stuff, anyone that wants to hear more about this, in this sort of social media context, we do have a podcast that we put out that I'm one of the producers of. It is called Life of the Brand. Josh, I'll send you the link to it as well. Maybe you can post it alongside it. We're getting ready to record and launch our 3rd season of the podcast. We're really excited about it. We literally just had a meeting earlier today about one of the episodes, which I think we ended up titling the rough cut, or the rough show notes, is Chat GPT heralding the arrival of our technology overlords. So it's going to be on artificial intelligence and everything that's going out. That's the kind of stuff we talk about on the podcast. We talk about marketing mentalities like this. We keep you in the loop on the marketing technology that is coming up through media, through social media, and we have fun while doing it. So Life of the Brand, we hope you'll check it out. Josh, thanks so much for letting me plug that there at the end, but thanks so much for having me on. Like I said earlier, I love when we get to chat. I always feel like it goes somewhere. I always feel like we have stuff to think about and action steps to move forward with. I anticipate I will text you about 1 or 2 of these things tomorrow, right? So appreciate you. Thanks, brother.
Hey, man. Thank you. All right, man. We'll talk soon. For watching. Catch you next time.
Woo, man, that was exciting, exhilarating. I don't know about you, but I'm pumped up, ready to get out there, get some fresh marketing, and get going. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. We'd be happy to talk to you. We'll leave Kevin and his team's information down low. Of course, my name is Josh Waters. I'm a residential realtor and team lead here in the Albuquerque metro area. If you're moving to the area or you have any real estate questions, we're happy to talk to you. You can set an appointment either online or in person. Just follow the link in the description or on the main page to our website. We'd love to talk to you. Of course, hit that like, subscribe, that notification bell. leave some comments. We'd love to hear from you, and we look forward to seeing you next time. You've been working from home.